There's something undeniably magical about hitting the open road in America. The hum of your tires, the ever-changing horizon, the soundtrack of your favorite songs, playing as the landscape unfolds before your eyes. And no road trip captures that spirit of freedom quite like Route 66. It's not just a drive, it's a journey through history, culture, and a forgotten America. Buckle up, because today, we're taking you on the Mother Road, stretching over 400 miles from Chicago, Illinois, all the way to Santa Monica, California. Route 66 is more than a highway, it's a symbol of the American dream. Born in 1926, this historic route once served as the main artery west for thousands of families seeking opportunity, adventure, and escape. Today, it stands as a nostalgic ribbon of asphalt, connecting the heartland to the coast, passing through 8 states and countless forgotten towns, roadside diners, neon signs, and desert vistas. Your journey begins in Chicago, where the skyscrapers kiss the clouds and the deep dish pizza is legendary. From here, the route winds through the cornfields of Illinois, where small towns still hold echoes of a simpler time. Stop at Pontiac's Route 66 Hall of Fame, filled with quirky memorabilia and vintage photos that capture the essence of the road. Next, you'll cruise into Missouri, where the Ozark Mountains offer a scenic detour, and the city of St. Louis invites you to gaze upon the iconic Gateway Arch. As you push westward into Kansas, you'll only touch a sliver of the state, but don't skip it. Galena, Kansas is a gem with preserved 1,920s gas stations, and even the inspiration for the character Mater from Pixar's Cars. Oklahoma brings the heart of Route 66 alive with stretches of original pavement and old-school motels that haven't changed in decades. In Tulsa and Oklahoma City, you'll find vibrant murals, retro diners, and people who still embrace the romance of the road. Be sure to stop at Pop's in Arcadia, futuristic glass tower filled with hundreds of soda flavors from around the world. As you enter Texas, the landscape shifts. The flat plains of the Panhandle stretch to the horizon, and the legendary Cadillac Ranch near Amarillo invites travelers to leave their mark by spray painting one of the half-buried Cadillacs sticking up from the ground like desert tombstones. Grab a steak at the Big Texan, and if you're brave enough, try the 72-ounce challenge. Then comes New Mexico, where Native American culture, stunning adobe architecture, and desert magic color every mile. In Santa Fe and Albuquerque, Route 66 winds through streets lined with neon and history. The sunsets here? Absolutely unforgettable. Arizona brings drama to your journey. Flagstaff welcomes you with pine forests and a classic college town vibe. Take a short detour to the Grand Canyon, because how can you not? In Winslow, you can stand on that famous corner made eternal by the Eagles song. And in the tiny town of Seligman, you'll meet the people who keep the spirit of Route 66 alive with passion, grit, and humor. Finally, you'll cross into California, where the Mojave Desert offers a surreal backdrop of sand and silence. As you descend into the chaos of Los Angeles, the road ends at the Santa Monica Pier. The Pacific Ocean stretches endlessly ahead of you, and behind you lies a tapestry of memories stitched together by miles of blacktop and chrome. Route 66 is more than just a road. It's a living museum, a time capsule, and a tribute to America's restless spirit. It teaches you to slow down, to savor the journey, to listen to the stories etched into weathered signs and cracked pavement. It reminds you that sometimes the detours are the best part of the trip. And as you drive the final mile, with the ocean breeze on your face and the sun dipping low on the horizon, you'll understand what every true road tripper eventually discovers. The destination is just an excuse. The road is where the magic lives. Road trips, twists, views, nature's slow, grand reveal. If there's one route that embodies this perfectly, it's the Pacific Coast Highway, also known as California's Highway 1. This drive clings to the western edge of the United States, offering panoramic cliffside views, crashing waves, misty mountains, and charming towns that feel like they were pulled straight from a postcard. Your journey begins in San Francisco, a city known for its fog, cable cars, and that iconic red sweep of the Golden Gate Bridge. As you head south, the scenery changes quickly. Skyscrapers fade into rolling hills and rugged coastline. Stop at Half Moon Bay to feel the wind in your hair and the salt in the air. This is where you begin to understand why this road is often called one of the most scenic drives in the world. As you enter Santa Cruz, the vibe becomes unmistakably California laid-back surfers, vintage boardwalks, and a rhythm of life that runs a little slower. You'll pass through dense redwood forests where sunlight filters in golden beams and the silence is only broken by the chirp of birds and the hush of the wind. Just off the highway, Big Basin Redwood State Park offers ancient trees that tower above your head like living monuments. But the real magic starts in Big Sur, a stretch of coastline so breathtaking it almost feels unreal. Imagine driving along winding cliffs, the ocean crashing hundreds of feet below you, the road curving like a ribbon along the edge of the earth. Pull over at Bixby Creek Bridge, one of the most photographed spots on the route, and you'll understand why artists, writers, and wanderers have been drawn here for decades. Big Sur isn't just about views. It's about moments watching the fog roll over the mountains in the early morning, spotting whales offshore, or catching the sun melt into the Pacific at Pfeiffer Beach, where the sand shimmers purple and the rock formations look like they've been carved by gods. South, past San Simeon, Hearst Castle's opulence beckons. Stop to visit the elephant seals lounging on the beach nearby, grunting and flipping sand on their backs like oversized beach bums. The charming town of Cambria invites you to stroll its art galleries and sample its coastal cuisine, while Morro Bay boasts a massive rock formation that rises dramatically from the Oceana Natural Lighthouse for dreamers. As you cruise into Santa Barbara, the scenery softens. Spanish architecture, palm-lined beaches, and mountain views combine to create a Mediterranean feel. It's elegant, yet easygoing. Stop for wine, for tacos, or simply for a moment of stillness. Eventually, you'll roll into Los Angeles, where Highway 1 turns into a ribbon of palm trees, movie magic, and cultural collision. Cruise past Malibu, where surfers dance with the waves and mansions cling to the cliffs. Continue to Santa Monica, where the pier marks both an ending and a beginning, the spot where road meets ocean, and where memories solidify like footprints in the sand. The Pacific Coast Highway isn't just a drive. It's a sensory experience. You'll smell the salt in the breeze, feel the curves of the road under your wheels, hear the soundtrack of gulls and crashing surf, and see colors you didn't know existed, sunsets painted in gold, purple, and fire orange. This isn't a highway you rush, it's one you savor. Because here, every curve tells a story, every town has a soul, and every mile is a reminder that sometimes, the edge of the world is exactly where you need to be. There are roads that take you somewhere, and then there are roads that take you back in time. If Route 66 is the heart of American nostalgia, then the Blue Ridge Parkway is its soul. Stretching through the misty mountains of Virginia and North Carolina, this 469-mile ribbon of asphalt weaves through some of the oldest landscapes in North America. It's a journey of sweeping vistas, quiet forests, and a serenity you won't find on any major interstate. This isn't just a road trip, it's a slow dance through the Appalachian Highlands. The adventure begins near Shenandoah National Park in Virginia, where Skyline Drive transforms into the Blue Ridge Parkway. Immediately, the modern world begins to fade. Cell signals drop, billboards vanish, and all that remains is the soft hum of your engine, the call of distant birds, and the wind slipping through the trees. The Blue Ridge Parkway is unlike any other American road. It has no commercial trucks, no gas stations or fast food chains along the way, just endless, winding beauty. The road is designed to hug the mountains, offering breathtaking overlooks and scenic pull-offs nearly every mile. Early morning fog rolls through the valleys like a living river, and as the sun rises, the blue in Blue Ridge becomes clear, the distant hills cloaked in a bluish haze, like layers of dreams stacked upon each other. You'll pass through Roanoke, a small Virginia city surrounded by trails, local eateries, and the iconic Mill Mountain Stara, massive neon landmark that watches over the valley like a silent guardian. Just outside the city, you'll find one of the parkway's most photographed spots, Nabry Mill, an old grist mill that seems frozen in time. Water gently spins the wooden wheel, and the surrounding paths lead you through a quiet grove where the past still whispers. As you drift further south, the landscape becomes more rugged. Rolling hills give way to sharper ridges, and the forests thicken with ancient trees that have witnessed centuries pass. Keep your eyes open. Black bears, wild turkeys, and deer often appear along the roadside, as if to remind you that this land belongs more to them than to us. North Carolina's Heights, Grandfather's Bridge, views. Take the time to stop at Lynn Cove Viaduct, an engineering marvel that clings to the side of the mountain like it's floating in the air. Standing there, with nothing but rock, sky, and road, you'll understand the quiet power of this journey. Further on, Asheville offers a cultural break. This artsy, progressive mountain town is a hub of creativity, craft beer, music, and history. Explore the Biltmore Estate, America's largest private home, or spend a night listening to Appalachian bluegrass echoing through the hills. Then comes Pisgah National Forest, where waterfalls tumble through mossy ravines and smoky peaks stretch endlessly across the horizon. The final miles toward Great Smoky Mountains National Park are perhaps the most dramatic. The air is thicker, the colors deeper, and there's a palpable sense that you're approaching something sacred. The Blue Ridge Parkway teaches you how to slow down not just your car, but your thoughts, your breathing, your pace. It's a place where the road isn't about speed or arrival, it's about immersion in nature, in silence, in something older and wiser than ourselves. So roll down your windows, breathe in the scent of pine and wildflowers. Let the curves of the road lead you, not forward, but inward, because on this drive, the best destination is the stillness you'll find somewhere between the mountain ridges and your own heart. Red rocks glow, desert sun ablaze, time stands still, and where every bend in the road reveals a landscape so alien, it feels like another planet. Welcome to the Utah National Park's Lupa road trip that winds through 5 of the most surreal and majestic parks in the US, each one a masterpiece of nature's artistry. This is more than a scenic drive. It's a journey into the heart of the earth itself. Start your adventure in Moab, a funky desert town and the perfect gateway to 2 jaw-dropping parks, Arches and Canyonlands. Just minutes outside of town, you'll find Arches National Park, a wonderland of over 20 natural stone arches, each carved by wind and time. Walk through delicate arch, which rises like a monument against the sky. It's not just a hike, it's a pilgrimage. Along the way, you'll encounter balanced rock, windows arch, and other formations that feel like nature's sculptures. Frozen mid-dance. A short drive southwest takes you to Canyonlands National Park, a vast and wild expanse of mesas, cliffs, and canyons carved by the Colorado and Green Rivers. The views at Island in the Sky are among the most dramatic in the West. Standing on the cliff's edge, you'll see a horizon so vast, it humbles the soul. This is where the earth opens itself, raw and untamed. From Moab, head south toward Capitol Reef National Park, a hidden gem with towering white domes, ancient petroglyphs, and a rich pioneer history. The scenic drive through Capitol Reef will surprise you. It's quieter, less crowded, and the colors of the rock shift dramatically with the sun. Stop at the historic Fruita Orchard, where you can pick apples, pears, or peaches from trees planted over a century ago. Then comes the wild centerpiece of the loop, Bryce Canyon National Park. But calling it a canyon doesn't quite capture what you're about to witness. Bryce is a surreal amphitheater of thousands of hoodoo's thin, spire-like rock formations glowing in shades of orange, pink, and gold. Standing at the rim at sunrise feels like you're looking into another dimension. For an unforgettable experience, hike down into the canyon via Navajo Loop Trail. It's like descending into a cathedral built by time. Zion's Cliffs Tower, electric vibe fills the air. Hike through the Virgin River Narrows, where you wade through water between high-slot canyon walls, or test your nerve on Angel's Landing, one of the most thrilling hikes in the country. Zion is a place of extremes beauty, challenge, serenity, and awe blending together in a way that leaves you breathless. The beauty of the Utah Loop is how each park offers a completely different experience. Towering arches, deep canyons, stone cathedrals, and blazing deserts. And between them, the journey itself is magical. Highway 12, known as one of America's most scenic roads, winds past ghost towns, alpine forests, and desert valleys, offering views that demand you pull over and just take it all in. This isn't just a road trip through national parks. It's a meditation on scale and silence, a reminder of how ancient and mysterious our planet truly is. Here, you're not just driving, you're discovering. Not just sightseeing, you're soul-searching. So, pack water, bring your camera, and leave space in your heart for wonder. Because the Utah National Parks loop will not only change what you see, it'll change how you see the world. America's road. Glaciers gleam, wildlife roams free, and the mountains rise like frozen waves in the sky. Welcome to Going to the Sun Road in Glacier National Park, Montana, one of the most awe-inspiring road trips in the country. It's not the longest drive, but in just 50 miles, it delivers a lifetime's worth of beauty, emotion, and wonder. The magic begins the moment your tires touch the road near Lake McDonald, the largest lake in the park. The water here is still and impossibly clear, reflecting towering pine trees and snowy peaks like a mirror held to the sky. Early in the morning, mist curls off the lake's surface like breath, and you can hear the haunting call of loons echoing across the water. This is your first taste of what's to come. As you climb higher, the road begins to cling to the mountainside, twisting and turning with no apologies. Going to the Sun Road is an engineering marvel blasted through rock and draped across cliffs. It was completed in 1933 and remains one of the most scenic mountain roads in the world. With each ascent, the views expand until they feel limitless. Midway through the drive, you'll reach Logan Pass, the highest point on the road, at over 600 feet. This is where the alpine magic really begins. In the short summer season, wildflowers explode across the meadows, purple asters, Indian paintbrush, and glacier lilies, turning the landscape into a living canvas. You might spot mountain goats tiptoeing across steep cliffs or bighorn sheep grazing in the distance, completely unbothered by the human presence. Step out and hike the Hidden Lake Overlook Trail. It's a short trek, but every step is a reward. From the viewpoint, you'll see Hidden Lake sparkling in a glacial bowl, framed by jagged peaks and snowfields, even in July. It's the kind of scene that makes you forget about phones, emails, or anything else beyond the mountain air and silence. As you descend from Logan Pass toward the east, the landscape shifts again, more dramatic, more open. You'll pass Jackson Glacier Overlook, one of the few places in the park where you can still see a glacier from the road. These ancient rivers of ice are retreating fast, and scientists estimate that within a few decades, Glacier National Park may have no glaciers left. Seeing them now is both breathtaking and sobering. Further along, the road winds beside St. Mary Lake, where sunlight turns the surface into liquid sapphire. Rising from the water is Wild Goose Island, a tiny speck of land that's become one of the park's most iconic sights. The view here at sunrise or sunset feels like something out of legend, light and shadow playing across the peaks in shades of lavender, gold, and fire. But Going to the Sun Road is more than its views. It's the feeling it stirs deep within you, that awe when nature reminds you how small, yet connected, we really are. It's the realization that some places are sacred, not because of religion, but because they humble you into reverence. This drive isn't just a line on a map. It's a journey into a wilder, quieter world. A place where time slows down, where the air smells like pine and snow, and where you're constantly reminded that the best things in life cannot be rushed. If you're lucky enough to experience Going to the Sun Road, you'll leave changed. Not because of the photos you'll take, but because of the moments you'll live. Moments where the mountains meet the sky, the glaciers whisper their ancient stories, and the road reminds you to simply breathe. Geyserserupt, bison roam golden meadows, a vivid road, and bubbling mud pots gurgle like witches' cauldrons. Welcome to Yellowstone National Park, a place so raw, so wild, and so surreal, it often feels like another planet. And driving through this geothermal wonderland isn't just a vacation, it's an encounter with Earth's untamed heartbeat. As you enter through one of Yellowstone's 5 iconic gates, perhaps the north entrance at Gardner, Montana, where the historic Roosevelt Arch greets you with the words, "For the benefit and enjoyment of the people," you immediately sense something special. The air feels sharper, scented with pine and sulfur, and there's an unshakable awareness that you're somewhere ancient, somewhere alive. Your journey begins in Mammoth Hot Springs, a cascading landscape of mineral terraces built by centuries of superheated water rising through limestone. These terraces change constantly. Some areas dry up, while others burst into new color. Shades of orange, white, and amber bleed across the formations like molten watercolor. As you head south, the Grand Loop Road splits into a figure-8 path that guides you through the park's most mesmerizing landscapes. No two segments feel the same. Soon, you'll find yourself at Norris Geyser Basin, one of the hottest and most volatile areas in the park. The ground hisses and cracks beneath your feet on the boardwalk, and geysers like Steamboat, the tallest in the world, wait in slumber or fury, never predictable, always formidable. Old Faithful erupts, Yellowstone's gem, consistent and famed. Every 90 minutes or so, it shoots scalding water more than 100 feet into the sky, framed by blue skies and astonished visitors. And around it, the Upper Geyser Basin stretches with steaming vents, colorful hot springs, and otherworldly formations that look like fantasy come to life. But Yellowstone isn't just about geothermal wonders, it's also about wildlife. Driving east toward Hayden Valley, you'll likely spot herds of bison, sometimes blocking the road in slow-motion parades of prehistoric power. Elk, grizzly bears, wolves, and even bald eagles make appearances here, often just a few yards away. It's not a zoo, this is their home, and you're the guest. Then comes Grand Canyon of the Yellowstone, a stunning gorge carved by the Yellowstone River. It's not just the dramatic cliffs or the sheer drop, it's the color. Sulfur-stained walls glow in gold, pink, and rust, while Lower Falls thunders down over 300 feet, a cascade more majestic than almost any you've seen. Head out west toward West Thumb and Yellowstone Lake, where geothermal pools bubble beside icy blue waters. This contrasts fire and water, fury and calmness, what defines Yellowstone. You'll feel it constantly, the earth pulsing beneath you, the wind whispering through pine, and the roads guiding you from one ancient marvel to another. Finish your loop through Lamar Valley, often called America's Serengeti. Here, at dawn or dusk, wolves hunt, bears forage, and photographers wait quietly, long lenses pointed at distant hills. It's humbling to be here to witness nature as it once was, untouched and wild. Driving through Yellowstone is unlike any other road trip. It's not just a scenic route, it's a living documentary of Earth's creation in real time. The colors are more vivid, the sounds more primal, and the silence between geysers more powerful than words. You don't just see Yellowstone, you feel it. In your chest when Old Faithful erupts, in your soul when a bison stares through your windshield, and in your bones when the ground trembles under your feet. So take your time, drive slowly, listen deeply, because here, in the heart of Yellowstone, every mile brings you closer to something ancient, something wild, and something within yourself. Southern charm, music, adventure, discovery, all rolled into one, and a tapestry of American history. Welcome to the Great River Road, a legendary journey that follows the mighty Mississippi River from its quiet source in Minnesota to its wide, churning mouth in Louisiana. It's not just a drive, it's a river of stories, cultures, and landscapes that change with every mile. You begin your journey at Lake Itasca, Minnesota, the humble birthplace of the Mississippi River. It's almost hard to believe that the narrow trickle of water here will go on to shape an entire continent. As you stand at the source, stepping across smooth stones where the river begins, there's a quiet magic in knowing you're at the start of something vast. From here, the Great River Road winds through small towns and endless farmlands. Stop in St. Paul, Minnesota's capital, where Victorian architecture and a thriving art scene line the riverbanks. Further south, La Crosse, Wisconsin, offers scenic bluffs and steamboat nostalgia talkie, a paddleboat cruise to feel the rhythm of the river under your feet. Crossing into Iowa, the road hugs the water's edge through Dubuque and Davenport, cities that blend industrial grit with Midwestern warmth. Watch eagles soar over the river, visit river museums, and see how life along the Mississippi is shaped by both its power and beauty. The Effigy Mounds National Monument nearby offers sacred hills in the shapes of animals, built by ancient Native American culture's quiet reminders that this river has been a lifeline for thousands of years. Heading into Illinois and Missouri, the road begins to pulse with history. In Hannibal, Missouri, visit the boyhood home of Mark Twain, the literary voice of the Mississippi. Here, the river becomes a character, a restless, romantic force, shaping lives and destinies. As the road curves through St. Louis, gaze up at the Gateway Arch, standing tall beside the water, marking the edge of the frontier. As you travel further south, the Mississippi grows wilder, wider, and warmer. You'll pass through the heart of Tennessee and Mississippi, where the river becomes intertwined with the history of blues, jazz, and civil rights. In Memphis, stop by Beale Street, where music spills from every corner, and pay homage at Graceland. The National Civil Rights Museum, located at the Lorraine Motel, where Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated, offers a sobering, powerful moment of reflection. In Vicksburg, Mississippi, Civil War battlefields meet modern-day river life. And in Natchez, grand antebellum mansions whisper of a complicated past. Here, the river is not just scenery, it's a mirror of history's triumphs and tragedies. Finally, you reach Louisiana, and everything begins to change. The landscape turns lush, the air humid and thick with promise. In Baton Rouge, the river reigns over refineries, government buildings, and swampy wilderness. Then, you arrive in New Orleans, where the Mississippi becomes part of the city's heartbeat. Here, at the river's end, you'll hear the jazz drifting through the French Quarter, taste gumbo simmering in old family kitchens, and watch riverboats glide under iron balconies. Stand at the edge of Jackson Square, and you'll feel the pulse of a city that lives and breathes because of this river. The Great River Road is not a straight shot. It's winding, unpredictable, just like the river it follows. But that's what makes it special. It invites you to slow down, explore, listen, and learn. Every town has a story, every bend has a secret, and every mile brings you closer to the soul of America. Because the Mississippi isn't just a river, it's a lifeline, a memory, a song that has played for centuries, and one that you'll carry with you long after the journey ends. There's a road where the sky feels wider, the silence deeper, and the stars more alive than anywhere else in America. It's not lined with skyscrapers or bustling towns, but with red rocks, ancient petroglyphs, and desert horizons that stretch beyond imagination. Welcome to the loneliest road in America, U.S. Route 50 through Nevada. Despite its ominous nickname, this road trip isn't about isolation. It's about freedom, wonder, and the kind of peace you can only find when the world goes quiet. Route 50 spans coast to coast, but it's the stretch across Nevada that earns its legendary status. From Ely in the east to Carson City in the west, this 400-mile journey takes you through vast basins, forgotten mining towns, and high desert passes, each one revealing the raw, unfiltered soul of the American West. You begin in Ely, a remote town with railroad history and a gritty spirit. The Nevada Northern Railway still operates steam trains through the high desert, offering a hauntingly beautiful ride into the past. Just west of town, you'll drive through Steptoe Valley, where the silence is profound and the mountains loom like sentinels watching over empty plains. As the miles tick by, you'll pass through Great Basin National Park, one of the least visited but most awe-inspiring parks in the country. Here, Wheeler Peak rises above ancient bristlecone pine forests, and the Lehman Caves wind beneath the earth like a cathedral of stone. Spend a night here, and you'll be rewarded with some of the darkest, clearest skies in the continental U.S. A symphony of stars, undimmed by city lights. Continuing west, you'll reach Eureka, once known as the Pittsburgh of the West. It's a classic old mining town where saloons, opera houses, and newspaper offices still stand. Walking through its quiet streets feels like flipping through a faded photo album, ghosts of prosperity lingering in wooden storefronts and iron lampposts. Austin, rugged, beautiful, and haunting amidst peaks. Don't miss Stokes Castle, a crumbling stone tower built in the 1800s that now watches over the desert below like a lonely guardian. The road rolls onward, through shimmering heat mirages and open sky. Along the way, you'll find strange art installations, abandoned gas stations, and signs warning of the vast emptiness ahead. But that's the charm of Route 50: no traffic. No crowds, just you, the road, and a never-ending horizon. As you approach Fallon, the landscape shifts, subtle fields appear, and signs of life slowly return. You're nearing Carson City, Nevada's modest capital, and the eastern gateway to the Sierra Nevada. From here, you can head to Lake Tahoe, stunning finale to this starkly beautiful journey. Driving the loneliest road isn't about ticking off tourist attractions. It's about reconnecting with yourself, with nature, with the vastness of a land that refuses to be tamed. It's a space for reflection, for breath, for awe, It's a place where you realize how rare true solitude isn't, how powerful. Because in the quiet of the Nevada desert, beneath an ocean of stars, you don't feel lost. You feel found. And that's the gift of the open road. Not just in the destinations it brings you to, but in what it gives you space to discover within yourself.